couple things there.
Nice.
Right.
Good.
What's up? I'm Reba from Code Orange, and I'm playing through my LTD ESP signature guitar, the RM-600, and yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So it's got to be really cool to be working with ESP.
Yeah, ESP is my favorite guitar brand. Been playing it since I was a kid. Met some of the people working with them a couple years ago at one of the Code Orange shows in California, and talked about doing a signature model. And and just I was psyched as soon as I got asked, and immediately agreed, and just worked on the design and talked about the specs and figured out what my ideal guitar model would be, which is like the Viper, and then added a verse headstock on it, which helps for low tuning and sustain, and just has a really cool vibe to it, and it's special. It hadn't been done before, so yeah.
And what do you guys tune down to?
Typically Code Orange plays in drop B, sometimes drop A sharp too, so it's pretty hefty. But yeah, but it stays in tune super well, and sometimes there can be some high string noises, so I usually like to put a little piece of Velcro up here just to stop that from happening. But yeah, it stays in tune super well and sustains like all the chugs really well. We play with a lot of that type of style riffs, so but the guitar is great. It has a lot of presence and smooth. It's easy to move around on quick, and it's just perfect.
Do you notice,
for me.
if you don't mind me chiming in, so this is a spectacular, it's a beautiful guitar.
Thank you.
It looks like this looks more customized than a lot of the ESPs that I see, because it looks like you've had a lot of input in like the finish and probably the wood and the headstock design, and like the colors and everything.
Well, yeah, I wanted something a little more different that could stand out from them. A lot of times people like having like a really pretty guitar and a really beautiful guitar. I support that, but that's just like I wanted something like our band that was grimy and simple and straightforward and bold, and I think they got that, and so when I came to them with the general design and the logo, and I had the idea for the finish, but they were actually able to make it happen, and it turned out so much better than I'd even planned, and they found out a whole new way to make the finish, and it's like a marble kind of thing.
It's sick.
Yeah, it has a really cool vibe. It's like one thing in pictures, but then when you see it in person and you get to feel how smooth it is, and like it's just really special, and there's not any other model that looks like this. So that's really what I wanted. Our band's unique and we stand out, and I wanted a guitar that had that same kind of vibe. So yeah, I'm very happy.
Speaking of standing out.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Pittsburgh.
All right.
We're at Stuff Music, by the way. Obviously, you're watching the videos, but you're a Pittsburgh native.
Yes,
as it were. And the whole band?
I am. Yeah, the whole band is. Yeah, we grew up together here. Grew up in Pittsburgh. Went to school together in Pittsburgh, and started the band when we were really young. And, it's been great. I mean, like Pittsburgh's just a really good music scene, and there's a lot of, guys in bands and girls in bands who really look out for younger kids, and that's how we got started. Like, we started playing shows, and if people in Pittsburgh weren't supportive, then we would have never continued. So it's just really cool to have like a real scene here that let a band who, when we were young, we weren't good at all. We were just like, we had energy, but like we weren't good at playing, and we weren't tight. We were just a bunch of kids.
Bad when they suck. They have a good vibe, but
exactly. And people saw that in us and saw that we were passionate about it, and gave us opportunities to play all different kinds of shows, and gave us the chance to actually get better. And now, like, we're able to get nominated for a Grammy. So it's like
badass is that?
having that kind of support, and being in a city that cares about music and cares about kids playing music and supports that. It's just like, yeah, I love it, and there's not a lot of places like that. So
how about since we're all from the Berg, how about some of the clubs that you played? Name drop. How about some bands that helped you along the way? Because a lot of people from Pittsburgh watch these videos.
I mean, we played all kinds of places. Like Games and At was one of the places we played when we were really young. It's like it's like a punk spot in South Side that there were punk shows at, and Games, you could pay $10 and play Games for forever. And
that's awesome.
That place was great. And Mr. Roboto Project was like where we started playing hardcore shows. A friend of mine named AJ, he's in a band called Path to Misery, and he's now in a band called Face Wreck. He was one of the first people when we couldn't even drive. He took us on tour, like around, PA, New Jersey, like Ohio, close places. And he had a fest called Sincerity Fest that we had been on a few times when we were younger, and eventually started headlining that fest. So yeah, just like shit like that. And we played Ultra Bar, opened for a bunch of bands at Ultra Bar. Our friend Josh, who runs his own shows, he promotes a lot of shows around here. Basically, he used to put us on all kinds of shows. Opening
Josh
up for
Picatis,
bands,
right?
Josh Picatis, yeah.
Yeah.
So like different sides of things.
Long live Altar Bars, no longer.
I know,
exists.
no longer playing shows, but there's going to be more places coming up, and a place called Black Forge, they're starting to make a new venue, and AJ's making a new venue, and there's always going to be places here for kids to play. And
putting a venue
bands.
here.
Yeah, venue here. So it's great.
That's cool.
Oh yeah.
Just why don't you give us a couple more riffs on this signature guitar of yours? This is great. That's brutal. It's a thick sounding guitar.
Yeah, man.
I think it has to be. Do you have any issues with the reverse string tension?
No.
On the headstock at all?
No. I think it works best for this, honestly.
Okay.
Works really well.
Yeah. What gauge strings do you use with it?
I play 54 to 12. So,
wow.
Yeah, really thick strings. But that helps, again, with, like, one, I slam pretty hard down.
Sure.
So it helps with the bending going out of tune. It doesn't go out of tune. And it's just something about, too, like, we have a lot of chaos chords in our music. And, like, when I'm playing the wrong kind of gauge strings, the overtones on those don't sound right, which I didn't realize even would be a problem. But so I stick with these ones always. Ernie Ball, not even Slinky. So.
Now, were you allowed? Do they ship them with those gauge strings?
I think they ship them with something else.
Okay.
But everyone has their different style. It's not like, people sometimes ask me, like, what strings you play, what picks do you play? It's like, you should just play what makes you feel comfortable,
That's it.
What's right for the type of music you play, the riff you're playing. Like, I'll play a different pick depending on what kind of riff I'm playing, and especially in recording. It's like, live, it doesn't even matter. It's just what you can hold on to,
Right. I think it speaks a lot to the character of the musician, too. Like, you've played ESP and LTDs.
All my life,
your entire life. So
exactly.
the fact that you're able to now play one and have them recognize
man.
That's pretty badass. And you're from the Berg.
Exactly. Yeah. There's not a lot of like bands from Pittsburgh that have gotten to, reach their peak just because of the fact that it's a hardworking city, and it's tough to make money doing this. Like, it's tough to make enough money to live. So people, they come with that point in time where it's like, well, I can either, give up my day job and do this, or I just have to kind of turn it into a hobby. And we were lucky enough that when we knew we wanted to do this for real since we were really young, and we were best friends, and we were all into it 100%. So like, I just, I'm happy that it worked out for us, and I hope that more young kids are able to really put their all into being in a band and being in music and see how far it can take you. It's like we didn't come into this, we weren't like, we didn't have the nicest gear, we didn't have the nicest stuff. We just cared about music and played tons of shows, and now we're able to do it as a job. So like, I just, I hope kids are able to realize that.
And you guys didn't all go to the same school together.
We did, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we did.
How about, so like, when you get out of school, like, how does everybody
go straight to band practice, pretty much.
I mean, so like, when you graduated, you have to...
Yeah, we moved to Philly for a little bit, and we tried going to school, some of us, and we just ended up dropping out and touring full time and just doing what we actually wanted to be doing. You know, it was
walking the walk. That's impressive.
Yeah, it was hard. I mean, you know, a lot of tours around the U.S. and vans and sleeping on floors and doing everything ourselves. Like, that's the other thing too. Like, you gotta, especially now, like, you're kind of expected to know how to do everything when you're in a band. You gotta know how to make your art. You gotta know how to, you know, write your songs. You gotta know make your music. You gotta have an image, have ideas, have a vision. It's like, you know, the more you teach yourself how to do everything, and the better, you know, the further you're gonna get with your art. So
sure. I've most of my bands it's all in-house, the recording.
Yeah, exactly. Recording yourself, like, you gotta
build
just
a studio
figure it
on
out.
purpose to do that.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, you know, that's what fucking YouTube's for. So,
right. Yeah.
You know, that's what you got to use, the tools that you have now, and you know, just teach yourself, do it with your friends, make it fun, and you'll be able to get so much farther, you know, when you know how to do everything.
The age of technology, there's no reason you can't learn how to play guitar.
Exactly. Play guitar, learn how to
write
record.
songs, record everything. You can learn everything on the internet.
Photoshop. Yeah.
Yeah, everything.
Exactly.
Yep. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming in, and give us a little more riffage, and we'll...